Right now, Halloween festivities are getting underway right here in Madison. But first, we've got your Freak Fest forecast and the road closures that will be caused by the event. Plus, the Badgers are back on the road this Saturday fighting for redemption. Fresh off their first loss of the season, we have a preview of today's big game against Ohio State.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us here on News 3 Now. It's Saturday, October 26th. I'm Keely Arthur in with meteorologist Hattie McLean. Good morning, Hattie.
Good morning to you, Keely.
Some sun peeking out right now, but might not stay.
Yeah, we had a little bit, but it's not going to last long, unfortunately. The clouds are already spreading into the Madison area. Take a live look at the sky camera shot behind the current conditions this morning. You can see quite a few clouds here on the west side of town. Even at the airport, skies are mostly cloudy right now. We have just light winds, so no wind chill, which is good because temperatures are in the low 30s this morning. Here's a look at your temperature trend through the day. Over the next 12 hours, we're going to head to highs in the low 50s this afternoon. Again, look for a lot of clouds as well as some rain spreading in later on. I'll have more details on that rain coming up in Maine weather. A look at your traffic maps early today. No major issues, although we're seeing a few brake lights on the belt line here and there. No accidents, though, to report around southern Wisconsin. And that's your first alert traffic.
And we could see some more traffic build up on Park and John Nolan as we get into the day.
Getting busier later on today, especially with Freak Fest tonight.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Well, we begin with breaking news into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. An armed robber is on the run in Janesville this morning after authorities say the suspect robbed Mulligan's BP gas station at around 3 a.m. The male suspect entered the shop on Milton Avenue wearing a hood to cover his face. He then flashed a handgun and demanded money, according to police. He left with an undisclosed amount of cash. The suspect is between 20 and 30 years old, slim and about 5 feet 7 inches. He's wearing a blue windbreaker with white stripes down the sleeves and blue jeans. If you have any information, please contact local authorities. We have their info on your screen and on our website. And Madison police are asking for your help in identifying 2 armed people they say robbed a store on the city's west side. It happened at the prepaid store at the 7600 block of Mineral Point Road just around 9 o'clock Friday night. Police say 2 suspects walked into the store with handguns and demanded money. They got away with an undisclosed amount of cash from the registers. 3 employees and 2 customers were at the store during the robbery, but thankfully no one was hurt. Now police are asking anyone with information to contact authorities. And new this morning, Pacific Gas and Electric, California's main energy company, could shut down power for nearly 1 million customers today. They're expected to announce their decision this morning at 10 o'clock our time, and shutdown could last until Monday. The move is intended to prevent more fires as some of the strongest winds in years blow in. Some of those forecasted winds could reach up to 80 miles an hour through Monday. In the meantime, major parts of California remain under a state of emergency as wind-driven wildfires threaten thousands of homes. The Tick Fire broke out Thursday north of Los Angeles and has since scorched thousands of acres. Friday, the fire jumped a freeway, prompting a new round of evacuations.
We just saw this red glow behind the hillside, and we saw flames just started marching down the hillside just a few hundred feet from my house.
Some 600 fires have erupted in California over the past few days. Pacific Gas and Electric is now investigating whether the largest fire was sparked by a transmission tower that had not been de-energized. More local news now. There's been a lot of confusion surrounding these flyers showing up in people's mail about water service lines. The Madison Water Utility says it has received dozens of phone calls about this letter. It's from a Pennsylvania-based company called Service Line Warranties of America. The company is offering to insure repairs or replacements to the water lines that come into your home. That's a valid thing you can insure, but the Flyers and company are not in any way affiliated with the city of Madison. So these flyers have nothing to do with your existing sewer line coverage.
It's important for people to really do their research, understand what is included in any kind of policy, contact their homeowner's insurance, do all of that kind of background stuff before signing anything.
Homeowners are responsible for repairs to water service and sewer lines. The city recommends you talk with your homeowner's insurance agent to see if this coverage is right for you. Well, today, nearly 300 local law enforcement agencies will be participating in drug take-back programs around the state. And this year, there is a major change to what is being accepted. For the first time ever, the DEA says it will accept unwanted vaping devices and cartridges. The DEA made the change in the wake of an increased vaping-related injuries and deaths, which were seen nationwide. You're also encouraged to get rid of your unwanted and unused medications at drug take-back and drug disposal locations. You can find a list of those locations on the Department of Justice's website. The annual Freak Fest is tonight, and so you can expect a large range of street closures downtown. Those are all shown here in black. Parts of State Street, Lake, Francis, Johnson, Dayton, Gorham, Mifflin, and West Gilman streets will all be closed. Those closures begin at 5 this afternoon, which is about 2 hours before the festivities. Most roads are expected to reopen around 3 a.m. tomorrow. To get into Freak Fest, remember, you will need to purchase a ticket. And it's not Halloween yet, but we're already looking ahead to the next round of holidays. Volunteers are needed to help with an annual tradition along University Avenue today, putting up tens of thousands of those pretty holiday lights. The Kammer Family Foundation's annual setup event starts at 9 a.m. Around 120,000 lights will cover nearly 230 trees. If you'd like to help, we have the contact information on our website. And the Badger football team hasn't played Ohio State in Ohio since 2013, but they're back in Columbus this weekend. Wisconsin and Ohio State played this morning at 11 a.m., and it's the national game on Fox. Ohio State is a 14-point favorite at home, and right now the Buckeyes are ranked 3rd in the country. They've beaten the Badgers in 9 of their last 10 meetings since 2007. R.J. Wilson is in Columbus this morning, and we will catch up with him in about 30 minutes right here on our show. From the Badgers to the Bucks, Milwaukee opens its home season tonight against Miami. Eric Bettles is back, and while it looked like he'd be out the first week or two of the season with rib cage injuries, the Bucks starting point guard is cleared to play and ready to start. He proved that in the team's opener Thursday, scoring 11 points in just 16 minutes. When asked how he healed so fast, he said he had no idea. He's just worried about getting off to a fast start and doing things better than last year.
Everybody had, a lot of success last year as a team-wise, individual-wise. But we're looking to take that next step. We got to do it again.
But he just helps us hold everything together. Lets me do my job, Giannis do his job. Everybody's just out there. He's able to do what they do when he's out there on the floor, just because how he's able to create shots for everybody and make sure everybody keeps involved.
Bledsoe plays at 4 today. Well, it's almost time to trick or treat, and next we've got some tricks up our own sleeves. Cheap, creative ways to make a costume for yourself and your kiddos. But first, you're taking a live look over the Capitol, where vendors are getting ready for hopefully a warm and sunny day at the market. Hattie has your full farmers market forecast just ahead.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. We started out with clear skies earlier today, but there already are quite a few clouds moving into the Madison area. Let's take a look at that temperature trend over the next 10 days. It's going to be a little bit downward as we go into next week. Temperatures will be well below normal. We still should be hitting highs in the 50s as we close out the month of October and start November, but we're actually going to be quite far from that, especially on Wednesday, where we have highs only in the upper 30s. So let's take a look at what's happening. For this weekend, we are looking at some rain and a steady stream of rain from the Gulf of Mexico all the way into the central Mississippi River Valley this morning. That rain is making progress towards the north, and it is going to move into southern Wisconsin as we head towards the evening hours. So dry but cloudy for the morning, but then turning a little wet as we head towards the evening. We are going to be on the warm side of things, though, so it's all rain with this particular system. Take a look at what's happening on weather track. High pressure still to the north, and that really is slowing down that northward progress a little bit. But as that area of high pressure moves further to the east today, that will allow the rain to move into southern Wisconsin probably after 4 p.m. Our temperatures early today are starting off below the freezing point in many spots. 31 right now in Madison, but 41 in Chicago. Climbs to around 50 as you head towards St. Louis this morning. So it is significantly warmer to the south. But we are stuck in the 30s right now. 32 in Janesville and Monroe, 32 in Mineral Point. North of Madison, temperatures are in the 20s. Take a look at Camp Douglas. Nearly 21 degrees this morning. Your future track forecast model already showing those clouds spreading into Dane County. And we do expect mostly cloudy skies as we head towards the lunch hour. Again, staying dry for our viewing area through 4 p.m. That rain will steadily work its way north and west, though, through the late afternoon and evening hours. By 7 o'clock, we'll likely start to see some raindrops here in Madison. Heaviest rain, though, is going to stay to our east. Parts of our western viewing areas, not likely to see a drop of rain from this system. Again, it's mainly going to be south central and southeastern Wisconsin for this one. Highest amounts from Milwaukee and points to the south. Here's a look at your extended forecast then. A much better day tomorrow as far as the weather is concerned. 54 with partly sunny skies. Soak up that sunshine tomorrow. We don't have a lot of it in the upcoming forecast for the week. Highs back into the 40s and 30s with some rain and possibly even some snow showers late at night or early in the morning hours. Thursday for Halloween, Keeley, looks pretty darn chilly, with a high of just 40 degrees.
I know, sometimes it's hard with Halloween costumes. You end up just putting a parka over your kiddos and nobody really sees what they are.
I know, true, yeah, unless you can somehow trick-or-treat inside. That would probably be the best news.
That's a very good idea. Thank you so much, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Well, more local news now. Halloween, as you heard, is right around the corner. And if you're still in the hunt for the perfect Halloween costume, we are here to help. Our Christina Laurie joins us with some cheap and creative choices.
Hi, Keeley. Whether you're looking for something for your kids to wear out trick-or-treating or the perfect costume for your own Halloween party at work, all you need is a box. No, really. Heather and Kelly from 2 Men in a Truck are here with us this morning to talk about some easy ways that we can make Halloween costumes at home.
Yep.
Some of them are not so easy, though.
Yeah.
Because I want to show people first what we have to our left. What is this costume and how did you make it?
So this is the claw machine. Everyone has seen those when they're going into the store. And this is actually a lot easier to make than you'd think it was.
Okay.
It's just like a large box and a smaller box on top, and we just kind of cut the holes. We just put wrapping paper around it and put some stuffed animals in it.
Okay, so you work at 2 Men in a Truck. You're affiliated with it, so you have a lot of boxes around.
We have a few boxes around, yeah.
But for people who might not have as great of an assortment of boxes as you have, what else can they make?
So this is like a smaller box, like we just did, like, you know, an Ace of Hearts. So to make, and this is done with a box, but a lot of times, you know, we're getting shipments all the time. Amazon is a big seller, so we get boxes laying around. So this is, we just use with just plain paper and printed up some things to put on it. And
yeah, Kelly's showing us how easy it is.
Yeah.
Really, you just need a glue stick, tape. You can use wrapping paper or what?
Yeah, we actually didn't have, you know, white wrapping paper, so we saw that some wrapping paper is just white on the back, so we just flipped it over and used it to kind of cover the box.
Okay, and is there any other ideas of costumes that you've made in the past? Because you seem very creative.
Yeah, we've done like, we've made a Lego set, you know, so just put like some cups on a box and paint it all. We have, you know, some dice that we've done as well, too.
Okay, and these shouldn't cost families a whole lot of money. You're saying that you looked up how much the average family spends on a costume?
Right, the average family spends $86.79 per costume every year on Halloween. So this is, you know, the card cost us nothing to have. You know, we had a box and we just found wrapping paper and we printed up the stencils to go on top of it. The claw machine cost us maybe $10, and that was when, you know, we just went to a dollar store and bought the stuffed animals.
Well, and so many kids at home have
Absolutely.
Stuffed animals. They don't have to go to the dollar store.
Right, right.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly and Heather, for coming in and talking to us.
Thanks for having us.
And happy Halloween to you.
Happy Halloween.
Keely, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you so much. And that segment reminds us that Halloween is right around the corner. You can find a list of trick-or-treating times for your own town. That's up on our website, channel3000.com. Well, time right now is 8:16, and Netflix is skipping past Halloween to celebrate the winter holiday season. And a few weeks early, we have a look at their latest Christmas films. From the screen to the stage, though, we are taking a look at some local theater productions. Michael Bruno takes us backstage of the local production of Footloose. Trending news is just ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. Welcome back. Let's take a look at what is trending this morning. There's a new queen in town, on Netflix at least. Olivia Colman has taken over the lead role in the new season of The Crown. Emmy winner Claire Foy played that role for the past 2 seasons. Now in season 3, the Netflix show enters the 1960s. You can watch starting November 17th. Netflix is also getting into the romantic Christmas spirit with the upcoming movie Let It Snow, based on the young adult novel of the same name. When a snowstorm hits a small town on a cold Christmas Eve, friendships, love lives, and the future of several high school seniors are impacted. Let It Snow starts streaming November 8th. And actress and comedian Amy Schumer is returning to work after giving birth to her first son. And she's getting serious in a documentary she's working on for the streaming service HBO Max. Schumer is promising an unfiltered behind-the-scenes look at her preparations for a live stage show during a difficult pregnancy. Schumer says she hopes sharing her story will bring more awareness to the challenges of pregnancy. And Kanye West's movie Jesus is King is in theaters for 1 week only, starting this weekend. The film features 13 gospel-style songs and music from West's upcoming album. The rapper has been holding Sunday services across the country for the past year, showing off his gospel roots. Last month, he returned to his native Chicago to play for thousands of fans. And the 1984 film Footloose was turned into a Broadway musical back in 1998. It was nominated for 4 Tony Awards the next year. Now, the story of the big city teen who moves to a small town where dancing is banned is hitting a local stage. Our Michael Bruno goes backstage at the Sun Prairie High School's performance.
Tonight I gotta cut loose, footloose. Kick off your Sunday shoes.
It's set in the 80s, and there's a boy by the name of Ren McCormick and his mother. They moved from Chicago to the little town of Beaumont, which is kind of Midwest of Midwest. It's just right in the heart of the country and really small city. And when he gets there, he realizes that people aren't allowed to dance. There's been a tragic accident about 5 or 6 years before that some teenagers died after coming home from a dance, and the Reverend Shaw Moore, he decides to ban it completely. And so the plot is basically trying to bring dancing back to Beaumont and bring that fun for the teenagers.
Obviously, you're way too young to remember the 80s when this actually took place. So did you study things of that era? Like, how did they dance? How did they dress?
Yeah, for sure. Dancing was definitely my way into the history of it. So the hip hop of it, and then we kind of get a taste of country a little bit in this with still rocking. So yeah, we get to play around with a lot of different styles of dance in here, but it's a lot of fun.
Every show I've been in, I've had to dance in. Like, there's never been a show I've been in where I didn't have to dance. And each time I do like a different style. It's definitely more 80s inspired movement, and I've never done 80s inspired movement before. And it's definitely more like stylistic and, you know, hip movement and thrust and yeah, it's all over the place. But I would have to say my specialty is hip hop. But I dibble in everything, dibble and dabble.
So Hamilton is your next step then, right?
I'm praying to the theater gods, I swear.
In knowing that there was ethnicity in that involved, that he comes from Chicago, was there any in that your decision maker? Was there any changes that you did for that?
I don't know that there were specific changes. Jamal certainly, I mean, he is a triple threat, and he is everything about Ren McCormick. And because he happens to be Black, I think that it does bring a different kind of wide open kind of take on probably what it was like in the 80s, and it is today in a lot of places in America. So we are really fortunate in Sun Prairie to have a very diverse student body, and I'm just so happy that we have diversity in our cast and students feel welcome in the theater. I don't know that it's changed anything about my particular blocking or choreography, although since he's an amazing dancer, I have definitely allowed him some freedoms to bring his own kind of style into some of the dancing as well.
Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody cut, everybody cut. Everybody, 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 everybody cut. Footloose. Yeah!
Talented kiddos, you can catch Footloose in person at Sun Prairie High School. It opens November 8th and runs through the 17th. You can get tickets online at spperformingarts.org. It's 8:25 and there is much more ahead on News 3 Now. Next, we're running through the morning's top stories, including the impact Freak Fest will have on downtown Madison, whether you're heading there or not. Plus, ice cream, you scream, we all can grab some free ice cream today in Madison. We'll share share the details when we are back. Right now, a one-on-one interview with the new UW band director. Before the Badgers football team takes the field at Ohio State, our Susan Simon sits down with Corey Pompey to find out what was the deciding factor to take the job.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's October 26th. I'm Keely Arthur. We'll get a check of your first alert forecast with Hattie in just a second. But first, here are 3 things to know as you begin your day. Madison police are asking for your help identifying 2 armed people they say robbed a store on the city's west side. It happened at the prepaid store on the 7600 block of Mineral Point Road just before 9 o'clock Friday night. Police say 2 suspects walked into the store with handguns and demanded money. They got away with an undisclosed amount of cash from the registers. Anyone with information about this robbery or the suspects is asked to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers. Pacific Gas and Electric, California's main energy company, could shut down power for nearly 1 million customers today. They're expected to announce their decision this morning at 10 o'clock our time, and the shutdown could last from today until mid-Monday. The move is intended to prevent more fires as some of the strongest winds in years blow in. Some of those forecasted winds could reach up to 80 miles an hour through Monday. In the meantime, major parts of California remain under a state of emergency as wind-driven wildfires threaten thousands of homes. And many roads around downtown Madison will be closed tonight for the annual Freak Fest event. Those are all shown here in black. Parts of State Street, Lake, Francis, Johnson, Dayton, Gorham, Mifflin, and West Gilman streets will all be closed. Those closures begin at 5 this afternoon, which is 2 hours ahead of the festivities. Most roads are expected to reopen around 3 a.m. Sunday. To get into Freak Fest, remember you will need to purchase a ticket. And you might also want to pack some rain gear. Hattie joining us with a rather rainy forecast for tonight. Hi, Hattie.
Yeah, maybe an umbrella fits in with your costume, or you can change things last minute because we do have some showers spreading into the area. Not yet, though. Just some clouds out ahead of that rain this morning. Already turning pretty cloudy here in the Madison area. Temperatures today will climb from the 30s pretty quickly this morning. We'll go through the 40s into the low 50s later on this afternoon. That's pretty normal for this time of the year with a high of 53 degrees. Temps will drop back into the 40s though, so a cool evening is expected. Now, as far as those rain chances, 0 this morning, but as we go through the afternoon, after 4 o'clock, rain chances really ramp up and rain becomes likely here in Madison as we head through the evening hours. And that's your first alert forecast.
All right, thanks, Hattie. A new era is underway for the University of Wisconsin's marching band. If you've been to Camp Randall for a Badger game so far this season, you have seen Dr. Corey Pompey at work. But how he got to Madison is quite another story, and he shared it with our Susan Simon.
Every band has a leader. For the first time in 50 years, there is a new director at the helm of the Wisconsin Marching Band. Dr. Corey Pompey takes the podium from the legendary Mike Leckrone.
We have spent decades debating your predecessor's name, if it was Leckrone or Leckrone. So is it Pompey or Pompey? How do you say your last name?
I say Pompey, but I've so accustomed to hearing it both ways that I don't even say anything when I hear it.
Well, you have to be the definitive source.
Well, that's how I see it.
Pompey.
That's how I see it.
Okay,
yes.
We've got it on tape. So we're off to a good start.
Pompey's office in the Humanities Building is barely unpacked, but he's starting to feel more at home.
I know how to get from here to the Hamill Center, here to the stadium, here to the field, here to the hill, and that's about it.
Pompey has a widespread background in music education.
I did go to the University of Alabama as a music education major. I did not intend to pursue music education. I majored in music education because I liked music and I needed a degree to go to law school. I like music, give me my music degree, I'm going to law school. Well, at some point, law school went out the window and I stuck with music education.
Corey earned a Doctor of Music Arts degree from the University of Texas, Austin, and has Big Ten experience as the Assistant Director of Bands at Penn State.
So having been in the marching band, you've walked the walk. You know what these kids are experiencing.
More than they realize.
That's a good thing, right?
Yes, it's wonderful, actually.
The 37-year-old Pompey was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, where his mother introduced him to music at an early age.
So my first instrument was in the 4th grade.
What'd you play?
It was violin, believe it or not. Not for very long.
Corey was at the University of Nevada, Reno, when he got a phone call that Mike Leckrone was retiring.
I will confess, when Mike announced his retirement, I thought to myself, good luck to that next person. Whoever takes that job, bless you. Have a good time. I'm not going anywhere near that.
It would take weeks before Corey finally decided to apply for the job.
What was the determining factor that you said, I'm going to go for this?
Well, the legacy that is the Wisconsin Band.
Pompey has his own vision for the Badger Band, and he's determined to make his own mark.
My goal is for the Wisconsin Marching Band to stay the Wisconsin Marching Band, whatever that means. I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel, and I'm not necessarily looking to take anything away. But if we can add something, if we can enhance something and expand what we're able to do, we'd love to do that.
As you look ahead to the spring concert, this will be your first spring concert. What are your thoughts about that? Are you thinking about starting your own tradition?
Not yet. We're still on the nuts and bolts. We haven't even gotten to issues of creativity yet. The only thing that I can tell you with certainty when it comes to the spring concert is that you won't see me doing somersaults over the audience. That's the only thing that I can guarantee.
What a great addition to the Badger family. Well, 2019 has been a monumental one for Corey in more ways than one. He is also a newlywed. He married his wife in May. Well, more local news now. The chocolate shop on Atwood Avenue will be handing out free ice cream today while supplies last as a thank you to the community. The company had rented out the small walk-up space for the last 6 years in that area, but it was recently sold. It is unclear what the company's next move will be, but it hopes to find a new home in the same neighborhood. It is 8:36, and next we are heading out to Columbus for a live report from our Jay Wilson ahead of the Badger kickoff. And from an early chance to don your Halloween costume to an event for the inner wizard in all of us. Your Weekend 608 is next on News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back. The Badger football team hasn't played at Ohio State since 2013, but they are back in Columbus this weekend. Wisconsin and Ohio State played this morning at 11 a.m. It's the national game on Fox, and that is where we find our Jay Wilson ahead of kickoff. Hi there, Jay.
Hi, Keely, and good morning, everyone, from rainy Columbus, Ohio. Well, anytime a team like Wisconsin plays a team like Ohio State, it's always kind of seen as the battle between underrated and overachieving players against the cream of the crop blue chippers coming out of high school. Well, we'll find out later today which strategy works, but when you look at both of these programs, you can say that both methods seem to work. The differences, though, are very remarkable. Since 2000, Ohio State has had 45 five-star recruits in their program, and at the same time, Wisconsin has had 4. Ohio State might have the most talent and best team in the country this season, but give the Badger program credit, too. They've taken whatever material they get and transformed it into a winner.
Yeah, I think that's what we hang our hat on, is we trust our evaluation, we trust the roles we're going to ask guys to fill, and we develop the heck out of guys. I think we trust our philosophy and our approach, and we know what this place is and who we are able to recruit. You'd love to recruit everybody in the country, but the reality is that you get told no a lot.
No, at the end of the day, they're good football players at a Division I program. You know, at a historic Division I program. You know, that what they did in high school doesn't matter. It's all about what they're doing now. You know, and they're doing great things now. So, I mean, I'm more so excited to play Ohio State instead of like the five-star recruits.
And you'll see the differences of the 2 Heisman Trophy candidates that are playing today. Justin Fields, the Ohio State quarterback, was a 5-star recruit back in the day from Georgia. He is the #1 recruit in the country for his senior year. And Jonathan Taylor, the Badgers running back, Heisman Trophy candidate, well, he was a 3-star candidate coming out of high school in New Jersey. And Keely, it's raining in Columbus, we said. Kevin Lewis is going to be on the field shooting the highlights in the rain. I'm going to be up in the press box. After 38 years, I've learned a thing or two. Back to you.
You are a very smart man. Thank you so much, Jay Wilson. We appreciate you having here on the weekend with us. Well, back home, it's the weekend in the 608, and it's also the Halloween season. So we know what that means in Madison. Freak Fest is back. That's the live music and Halloween costume party that draws tens of thousands of people to State Street. Several bands will play on 3 stages before the headliners, alt-rock band The Gin Blossoms and rapper Lil Yachty, take over. The entertainment wraps just after 1 a.m. If you are searching for some sci-fi and superhero things, you'll want to check out the Align Energy Center today. It's the Wizard World Weekend, now in its 5th year. The event will feature appearances by 4 cast members of TV's Smallville, 2 veterans of Firefly, and the spin-off film Serenity. The actors will participate in panels and will be available for autographs as well. And those are just a couple of the things happening around our area this weekend. You can pick up a copy of this month's Madison magazine for some more ideas. Well, time right now is 8:43, and you're about to take a live look over the Capitol. We will have your full forecast next with Hattie on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. We're taking a look at the rain that will eventually make its way into southern Wisconsin later today. Still to our south, you can see that the rain that Jay was dealing with in Columbus is part of the same system that will be working its way into southern Wisconsin later today. So while we have clouds right now, it'll be several hours yet before that rain spreads into southern Wisconsin. Unfortunately, though, it is moving in for this evening. So for Freak Fest tonight in Madison, showers becoming likely as temperatures drop into the 40s. So maybe rainproof that costume at the last minute if you can. Here's a look at rain totals from this particular system. Again, could be up around an inch in southwestern Wisconsin, maybe around ½ an inch here in Madison, but to the west and north, no rain. So this is just clipping the southeastern corner of the state. Good news, though, it is peak color here across southern Wisconsin, so hopefully that rain today isn't going to cause too many of those leaves to fall. Here's one of the pictures that we just received from Dustin, taken in Grant County recently. Beautiful fall color there. Here's another spectacular picture, this one sent in by Jamie, of those beautiful maples, the oranges and reds. So peak color here. Tomorrow is going to be a great day to take a look at some of those leaf colors here in southern Wisconsin. Here is the fall color report from Travel Wisconsin. Again, northern Wisconsin is past peak. Most of the leaves on the ground there, but southern Wisconsin is where the show is right now. Madison is at near peak color, as well as all the surrounding areas. So the time to look at those colors will be tomorrow. Things turn much colder next week. Your WISC-TV sky camera shot turning cloudy already this morning. That sunshine sure didn't last very long today. Take a look at your weather track satellite and radar combined. No rain falling from these clouds, but they do continue to work their way to the north and west towards the Dells already, and they will continue to spread northward today. 31 in Madison, 34 in Mineral Point. Janesville this morning, you're at 32 degrees, still only 29 in the Dells, so a chilly start to this Saturday morning. No wind chill to factor in at all, though, so that is good news. Your future track forecast model has temperatures climbing through the 40s this morning. Now, later on this afternoon, this is 4 o'clock, you can start to see that rain crossing the state line. It will continue to work its way northward. Now, areas west of Dane County may stay dry through this entire event. This will likely affect Dane County and Madison and points to the south and east. That rain could be heavy at times, though, east of Madison. It all clears the area, though, by this evening. Here's a look at, or I should say, it clears the area overnight. By tomorrow, we're looking at dry weather. 54 for a high on Sunday. Brr, Keely, next week, you got to bundle up. Some rain and maybe snow showers with highs only near 40. Here's Sparky in Oregon, though. He's our pet walk picture for today. I think you could still get a walk in early this afternoon before the rain comes.
Yeah, Sparky looks good now. He's going to need maybe one of those cute little dog coats or something if you're doing a walk later this week.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely chilly.
Burr. All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Well, you can stick with News 3 all day long, and then tomorrow morning, grab a glass and say cheers. We are toasting to the fall season with some festive drinks. But first, millions of people rely on trains to get them where they're going. But do you know which country has the fastest railways? We have the results of a friendly competition just ahead. Welcome back. Finally this morning in our busy lives, we're always searching for ways to get places easier, cheaper, and faster. Here in America, New York City has the country's busiest subway system.
But how does it stack up to the train travel around the world? CBS This Morning Saturday's Michelle Miller has the results of a friendly competition.
Rush hour in New York City is a daily challenge for its commuters, who, like most Americans, tend to rely on their cars as their main source of transportation. This despite the city having the nation's largest subway system, spanning more than 665 miles, carrying over 5.6 million passengers every year.
Crowds, they are a thing here in Tokyo too, Michelle. This city has a population of 14 million people, and about half of them take to the rails every day. And here's something that might be surprising to Americans. People here politely line up for trains that arrive on time nearly every time.
Here at Times Square Station, New York's busiest, people here might be surprised to know there's a schedule at all. As for lining up, forget about it.
In Tokyo, stations aren't just places to catch a train, they're also destinations to get a gourmet meal, like here at Ramen Row.
The dining choices here aren't as good, but you're never too far away from a slice of pizza. Just ask the locals.
Rare to see a rodent here, but it definitely is a rat race. The Guinness Book of World Records says Tokyo's Shinjuku station is the busiest in the world, but look how clean it is.
Sure, these trains and stations could use a bit more attention, but despite all of that and the delays, this subway runs 24 hours a day.
Subway service in Tokyo ends at around midnight and restarts at around 5 a.m. That lets crews tend to station maintenance.
No matter what time you ride or how far the trip, the fare in New York is the same.
Prices here vary depending on how far you go. But it's time, not cost, that matters most to rail passengers in Japan. The bullet train, or the Shinkansen, is still the world's most reliable form of public transportation. We're boarding in Tokyo for a trip to Kyoto, 319 miles away.
And we'll ride Amtrak's high-speed rail, the Acela, from New York to Washington, D.C., which is about 225 miles. That gives us a nearly 100-mile head start. Let's see who gets there first.
Michelle, you did hear that bit about this being the world's most reliable high-speed train service, right? It's also super fast with a top speed of 177 miles per hour on this line.
That is pretty fast, Ramey. The Acela only averages about 82 miles per hour. Part of the reason for that? It shares its tracks with both its local lines and freight trains, too.
Well, that was pleasant. Here we are in Kyoto, Michelle, right on time in exact 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Congratulations, Ramey. If we stay on schedule, which Amtrak doesn't 20% of the time, we should get to D.C. in about, 40 minutes. Although Amtrak is promising some upgrades that should shave 15 minutes off of the commute by the year 2021. 15 whole minutes.
And that's something to look forward to, Michelle. In the meantime, with the extra time we've got now, we're going to take a visit to Japan's old imperial capital. Wish you were here.
Yeah, me too, Ramey. Me too. Nice kimono.
I like those kind of dueling reporters. I'll have to do that with someone here at the station.
Yeah, I guess Tokyo wins.
Tokyo wins, and definitely not looking as pleasant as it did in that video.
Very true. Yes, we are definitely trending towards November weather. Today will top in the 50s, so a little bit warmer than it was yesterday, but we do have some rain on the way, and that again comes late this afternoon into this evening. It'll come to an end overnight, but it could add up to almost a ½ inch here in Madison. That extended forecast, though, for tomorrow, looking much nicer. 54 with some sunshine. Get outside and enjoy the weather tomorrow, because the next week looks a little wet and definitely chilly.
Oh no, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Go Badgers.